Buccaneers and the...
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between our visitors and the Jacksonville Jaguars. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
I loved our discussion this week. You know, we had our weekly phone call to talk about our game coming up, and we had to reflect on the fact that he won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award last week, yet his team lost. You don't see that very often.
No, I know a lot of people dislike that, but when you look at the numbers across the conference from last week, he was clearly the best. So I say the award goes to him, and it did.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. He was so good, they just couldn't ignore him.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd down, Winston. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. On 3rd down, Winston. He's got Evans. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3 and out. Winston now to throw on 1st down. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball is thrown.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week. 11 carries, 70 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on him. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
Completes it to Lee. And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Fournette, a first down carry. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Wide open receiver complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. And that one results in 35 yards. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on his first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
Open man right side is Shark. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Now back to throw. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Austin Safarian-Jenkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. And his kick is good. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there, a 22. They go play action here on first down. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Calais Campbell in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
All right, now, look at 56. Look it.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And some room to work. And the return will stop right around the 25. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? and they responded to the challenge.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Stay in there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Jones breaking, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones, his first touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting the lead, so you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. They'll look to throw here on first down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And it's second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock the Albert away and bring up second down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
They'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargreaves with a pick. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Following the interception, Winston. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They go play action. Winston. Over the middle to Evans. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A very solid gain of 27.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Winston now. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Third and long for Winston. Steps away to his left. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Calais Campbell able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage. And it'll be fourth down.
Well, that was their third sack of the ball game. Second in the league in sacks coming into this one. They plan on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the second spot pretty soon. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Now Leonard Fournette. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game, because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
He'll look to throw. And now he'll let this one go deep, back over the middle. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Looking to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll set up a throw. Sharp's got it, left side. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A really good pickup of 28 yards. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
All right, now, look at 56.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're... Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. Santos able to tack on the extra point. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
So that drive in total 8 plays. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A second down throw for Winston. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by his former FSU teammate Jalen Ramsey. Oh, and now he bowls him over.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Jaguars getting set to go. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Trying to lay one up deep and almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Chark with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead.
Remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Have 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Jameis on 2nd down. He sets up the screen to Jones. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This will be fielded at the 17. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Caught. Safarian Jenkins, right side. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1.
Here we go. Gone.
He'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. He'll try to generate some more steam on offense down to the scoreboard 2nd quarter. Not necessarily his fault, but he's always a guy they want to get extra involved.
Keep finding ways for him to get the football. Keep force-feeding him in that way. Get to the half. Kind of reboot. Start over again to try and erase the other things that have them down on the scoreboard.
They'll be looking for a little more juice here in the 2nd quarter before they do hit that halftime locker room. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. A strong running. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
All right, now, look at 56.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, Gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Detroit!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Now he's forced out left. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And after the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Miles Jack in from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit him with a screen soon.
The give is to Jones. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
A first down throw for Winston. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Miles Jack in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes.
False start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking or something.
And Jameis is going to go down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up up it to 6. I'm a former defender.
Oh.
To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. And now out come the Jags. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now back to throw. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
But enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Gerald McCoy in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations. Hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd down, Winston. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Winston. He gets it to Humphreys. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On 3rd down, Winston drops it to Jones in the flat. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have fourth down to try and pick it up.
Going right side here, and that's complete. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Bucs on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. Jameis again. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Barton. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Again, it's Winston. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Jameis to throw it. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. How about the defensive stand here from 1st and goal? 3 straight incompletion.
Yeah, I think people are wondering why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. And it is incomplete. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here, the turnover on downs. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right, except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
He's got the hook up to Lee. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. He got 29 yards that time. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Here's a give to Fournette. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
Looking to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the... It's caught inside the 25. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be third and goal now.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down.
Did your high school have that same push them back cheer?
I was a kicker.
Well, it certainly worked. Didn't matter whether we were kickers or not. That one worked, didn't it? They pushed him back at the last snap of the ball, and boy, they created a nice play for themselves. Would they lose 3 on that one?
Yeah, from the 1 back to the 4. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Working out of the gun, Winston. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by his former FSU teammate Jalen Ramsey. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Jags, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. Then they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons.